This animation was made for the non-stop challenge hosted by Cake Station. It was really fun to stream to show you guys my process while challenging me to create a fight scene in less than 2 weeks. While I was streaming it, I answered some of you guys' questions and wanted to highlight some key ones that can help you make your fight animations better. Make sure to stay to the end. There is something different and special that I'm doing for you guys for the first time that I'm excited to share. Let's get started. The first tip is to animate your favorite moves. We are all inspired by our favorite TV shows, movies, and video games. You'll watch something and say, oh, that's so cool, I want to animate something like that, only to try to create something in a similar vein, but for it to not come out the same as what got you excited. And I'm here to say, slip those favorite pieces that you saw into your animations. If you see a cool move and you want to animate it, do it. It'll help you to learn how to animate as well as you learning body movements if you're animating something you like. I always slip in a move here and there when I can. In this animation, I put this full twist sidekick that Annie Lee did in Marvel's Shang-Chi because once I saw it, I knew I had to fit it in somewhere. Animating something that inspires you is a great way to learn body movements since you'll be having a lot of fun learning while applying. The next tip is rotating your camera around the characters while they're doing their exchanges. This tip is a little bit more subjective as your animation doesn't need this to be good, but rather is a stylized choice. This is inspired by a more anime style of action. In some anime, when characters are engaged in combat, you'll notice the background moving around them to give it more depth or to make it more dynamic. Pull the camera back and do a rotation of the camera around your characters to give it that same feel. Chris Cowan also does this in his live action YouTube fight clips too, as well as in some of his movie fight scenes like in Kingsman and also Shang-Chi. Now everyone always asks me, what programs do you use? What program is the best to make animations? What program should I learn? To answer this question quickly, I use Unreal Engine for my lighting and rendering, and I have used Autodesk Maya for the majority of my animations. I have been making the switch to Blender recently to make animations like these, and something that helped me make this animation was the Combat Animator Starter Kit. It's a collection of environments, sound effects, copyright-free music, and a standard rig that you can use to create your own animation. The environment and sound effects used in this animation are included in this pack, and a link is in the description. I am working on creating a few animations using this kit solely so you can see its full capabilities, but feel free to try it out now to apply it to your own projects. I would also be updating this pack with new assets like rigs, environments, and music, which I will let you guys know through email. Now, with all that being said, I don't necessarily feel like my animations are better or worse for making the switch to Blender because, spoiler alert, programs are just tools, and it's completely up to your preference which is best. If I didn't say anything, I doubt anyone would really notice that my animation has switched programs. I know everyone makes the case for Maya versus Blender, but there are a ton of other animation softwares that people make to create fight scenes that work for them. So pick up one, try it out, and if you don't like it or you don't like how it works, try another one. Trust me, it'll be fine. The next tip is repeat action when you cut within an action. You may have heard this tip if you study film, but when you make a cut, especially if it's during a fight scene, it takes our brain a bit of time to readjust to understand what's going on. Because that happens when you make a cut, you want to take the first few frames to repeat the last few frames from the previous cut. You could do this in animation or while editing depending on your workflow, but doing so will make it easier for the audience to understand what's happening. Before I do my full twist sidekick, I take the first few frames after the cut from the spin to do this repeating action so you don't feel lost. If I were to just cut it and have the animation continue without doing a repeat action, the animation would feel a little bit too quick or the impact wouldn't sell it as much. So doing this trick really makes a difference. The last tip is a bit of a niche one, but if you're doing a fight animation, try throwing in, if you can, a takedown combo. If you've seen the Batman series, Spider-Man games, even something like Absolver or something recent like Sifu, a takedown combo can be something fun and easy to animate. You really only have to worry about one attacker, focus on what your character is doing, and then animate the other character react to the hits. You'll be surprised at what you come up with. Feel free to pick up a fighting game or one of those action games, record yourself and see what type of combos look cool. You can even take this a step further and use some of the game exchanges at choreography and then play with the camera movement to make it interesting. So my website is a poll that I use to gauge what you guys need help with, and you guys can give suggestions too on what tutorials you would like to see. And one of the things that you guys have asked for is access to my animation files. So for this animation, I put it up on my Gumroad for any of you guys who's interested and have been asking. The assets I use in the video are free online, so I put links to where you can find them, but if you want the full animation file, it's there. I'll be making more tutorials on tips and tricks on how to do fire animations, so stay tuned for that, but in the meantime, check out some of the other videos I have on fire animations. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.